So we're going to be using what's called the equal value method, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the steps. And we're going to write out all the steps, and then we're going to use those steps to do a couple problems together, and then I'll have you try some on your own. All right, so here's the steps. Now, if you get lost on your homework or something, you can easily just pull out your notes, follow the directions, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so the first thing we do when we're given a system of linear equations is we're going to set y equal to y. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. Once you set y equal to y, you will solve for x. Then, once you have x, you're going to substitute the value of x into either equation to find y. Then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to check your solution. If you didn't follow those directions, that's okay, because we're going to do an example right now, and that should clear it all up for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and use these directions now to solve a system of linear equations. Oh. All right, so here's our system of linear equations. These are, this is actually solved for y already. So if you were to graph it, you'd be able to find their intersection. Well, if you don't want to graph it, or in this case, like 23 is pretty large y-intercept, it might be a little challenging to graph that. So it might be a good idea to have another method in your back pocket, and that is the equal values method that we're doing today. So the first thing that it says is set y equal to y. Well, let me explain what that means. We're assuming that the x values and the y values are the same, because if it's the solution to both of those, then they're going to be the same. So we agree that y is equal to y. Well, if y is equal to x plus 2, and y is equal to 4x plus 23, then we can assume that this thing is equal to this thing. It's like saying that A is equal to B is equal to C, right? If A is equal to B is equal to C, then we can assume that A is equal to C, right? Same thing here. So what I can do is I can say, well, since this is equal to y, and this whole thing is equal to y, that those two things are equal to each other. Yes?
What do you mean when you say, like, assuming they're equal to each other? Like, would that be like you have to figure out what the equal to each other is? Or you just say?
We're just going to say that they're equal to each other. I think I answered your question. I don't know. Yep, I'll send it. Get over. have the lesson posted for you later. Okay. Did I answer your question? Do you understand why we can say that those two things are equal? Okay. Okay. Now all I have to do is solve for x. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to solve for x and c. I'm going to solve this equation for x. Okay, I'm going to go through the whole process here. Oh, I got 2. That should be 3 here. Okay. So that is the first part of our solution. We're saying that x is equal to -7. Now you can take this and plug it into, so the next step says, substitute the value of x into either equation to find y. Well, we can choose which one we want to use. I'm going to choose the first one right here because it's a more basic equation. It'll be easier to solve for y. So I'm going to take -7 for x and plug it in. And I'm getting that y is equal to -5. So now given this piece of information and this piece of information, I now have my ordered pair. My x value is -7, my y value is -5. Now, I used that top equation to find my y value. So to check my answer, I'm going to use that bottom equation. Okay, so I'm going to plug in -7 for x, -5 for y. Yeah, and it works. So this is the solution to that system of linear equations. Okay. So if we were to graph it, we would have found that point of intersection, but we were able to find it algebraically without graphing. So if you get lost anywhere along the way, check back with those steps. Those are going to help you. But I'm going to go ahead and do another example. I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. And then I'm going to have you guys try it out. Thank you. Okay, so let's try this system right here. Okay, if you remember, we are going to set this equal to this because we're assuming that these y's are equal. So we can say that x plus 9 is equal to 4x plus 24. And I'm just going to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Subtract 24 from both sides. Divide both sides by 3. And I'm getting that x is equal to -5. So now I'm going to take my first piece of information here and plug it into one of my equations. It actually does not matter which one. So I'm going to choose the top one here. And I'm going to find my y value. So I'm going to plug in -5 here for x. Okay, so now I have my x and my y, so I'm going to write my ordered pair. I'm going to say that it's -5, +4. And then I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it in that bottom equation since I used the top one to find my y value. Yep, it works. So we can say that this is the solution to that system of linear equations. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you 2 problems to do on your own, and I'm going to be super nosy. I'm going to be looking over your shoulder and making sure that you know how to do it. So don't mind me. I just really want to make sure you know how to do this. I don't want to send you home tonight and you have no idea how to do your homework. Okay. Practice. Yep, thank you. My vision is starting to give out on me, so it's so hard to see these problems. Okay, so that's the first one. All right, go ahead and solve those. Like I said, I'll be all up in your business. quick. I'm just gonna go over these. Looks like everybody was on the right track though. So I'm gonna set these equal to each other. And then I'm going to plug my x back in to that first equation. Okay, and then I have my ordered pair, -13, -41. I'm going to plug it into that second equation just to make sure we're good. Yep, we're good there. Okay, I'm going to plug it back into that second equation. And I get that y is equal to 0. So my ordered pair is a -4, 0. I'm just going to plug it now into that first equation to make sure. Yeah. Yep, we're good. Any questions for me? Don't forget that you guys have that practice to do. On the very end of the practice, there's 2 that I want you to solve by graphing, just because you need to keep those skills sharp. Now, when I say solve by graphing, I need to actually see those graphs. So if you're just giving me solutions, then I actually need to see all your work. So don't just give me a list of solutions tomorrow. I want to see everything.